Hi, and thank you for coming for the seminar. Um, I would like to present an overview of my country, its regions, and I will focus in the Amazon region. That is the region that our ATPA project is development right now. And I will talk about this project and how we are trying to help and to improve the quality of life of the people in the Amazon. And throughout this presentation, I would like you to know why I say that Ecuador is more than a country. Yeah, Ecuador is a small country located in South America. Its capital is Quito, with a population of 16 million inhabitants. Our language is Spanish, and the life expectancy is 77 years. Ecuador is a multi-ethnic country. We have different groups like Mestizo, Montubio, Mulatto, Afro-Ecuadorian, white, Black people, and 14 indigenous nationalities that are distributed in the different regions. And the regions, we have 4 regions. One is the Galapagos Island. I think you know more about this region because it's very known for its unique flora and fauna. And because of this, Charles Darwin, the scientist, developed its famous theory of the origin of the species. The second region in the continental part is the coast region. We have beautiful beaches, artisanal fisheries, and in September you can go to the Isla de la Plata, and if you are lucky, you can see whales. Another region is the Sierra or Andean region. Yeah, this is famous for its volcanoes. For example, in the Quito, in the capital, we have art of the 17th century, and the more known in Quito is the monument of the middle of the world. Many of the tourists come to Ecuador to visit to this monument, and I invited you to come to Ecuador. And the special region is the Amazon region, and it's called, some people call the jungle. And this is a special circumscription, for Ecuador. And the government of Ecuador decided to invest in this area because it's not only important for the Ecuadorian people, I think it's important for the world because they are the lungs of the planet. This region is very rich in flora, fauna, and most rich in the nationalities that live in this area. And I will focus more in this region because, as I say, the ATPA project is developed in this region. Yeah, this paradise that I can show you have many challenges. Despite it's a biodiversity area, 66% of the agricultural lands in the Amazon are overexploited. Deforestation is the main contributor to the climate change, biodiversity loss, and ecosystem degradation. But in our case, with the Ministry of Agriculture, one of the big problems in the Amazon is the expansion of the agricultural frontier with the establishment of monoculture, especially coffee, cacao, oil palm, that are the major driver of deforestation, and livestock too. In this sheet, I was pointing some the causes from the problem that the Amazon regions are facing. For example, in the agriculture, there are productive farms without planning and legalization of the land. The legalization of the land is a main problem in the Amazon region. There are an inefficient access to innovative production systems, poor training and local assistance to improve the social production net, and the limited presence and incomplete market change. Yeah, and what are the effects of this? Soil overuse of use and inefficient production, poor productive performance, low income, high production costs, and the most low prices on sales market. That is why with this problem, the government of Ecuador, throughout the Ministry of Agriculture, decided to implement the ATPA project. Before to talk about the project, I want you to present you how the agricultural lands changing during the last 12 years. For example, you can see in this sheet how in 2002 was the agricultural land use, and how in 2014 this was the changing. And the same in the second, the pastures in the same year, and how changing to 2002 to 2014. And now, this is the actual use of soil in the Amazon province. As you can see, the most of the deforestation changed into pastures. And the area with violet color is oil palm. Now that is how we are currently facing these problems in the Amazon. As I said, with these challenges and problems that we are facing in the Amazon, the government of Ecuador, throughout the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, decided to implement the Ecuadorian Amazon Sustainable Agro-Productive Reconversion Project. With this long title, since now we call this project ATPA project. Yeah, the objective of this project is to improve degraded areas and pastures to transform into sustainable agroforestry system throughout this implementation. But the idea of the project is to work in some areas like economic, social, and productive part. Yeah, we work with colonists that are people that live in the Amazon and come from different regions, for example, from the coast, from the Sierra, and to establish in the Amazon, and indigenous groups like Shuar, Quichua, and Guarani. And we are working in the 6 provinces that are part of the Amazon region. Yeah, the organizations involved in the project, there are 2 ministries involved in this project. One is the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, and the second is the Ministry of Environment. This is the first project that both ministries are working together in a project. As I don't know in your countries, but in many of the countries in South America, it's very difficult that the ministries working together in a project with the aim, the objectives, and trying to focus in a region, especially in this case in the Amazon. Yeah, we have internal funding that coming from the Ministry of Agriculture, and external funding that come from the Green Climate Fund and the Global Environmental Fund. And these funds are administered by UNDP. Especially the funds come from to work in the transition to the systems to environmental agroforestry systems. Yeah, there are many organizations that are involved in our project too. But the most important at the Institute of Agricultural Research, INIAP, ICAM University, that is working in the Amazon University too, Pro Amazonia, that is a project that is working with ATPA in the Amazon, and this project received the the grant from the Green Climate Fund and is working with us. And there is in the Amazon, the ministries, both ministries have different regional offices that are working in the 6 provinces. Our project has 3 components. The first component is the mechanism of information and management of the land tenure and use. As I mentioned, the land tenure is a big problem in the Amazon. Our project developed a geo-reference database of land use. We use satellite images and orthophotos. You can see this is an example of orthophotos. These orthophotos help us in the project and the technicians and the team to define priority areas of intervention, especially in the agricultural areas, and to define forest areas of conservation too. You can see this imaging is digitalized by our geographers in the project. And the green part is the area of forest in this example that we will conserve. Yeah, we ask to the farmer to conserve these areas, and that is in this part we work with the Ministry of Environment to help to the farmers to not destroy this native land. And the other areas are areas that, for example, they have in the A, you can see coffee, another, yeah. We work with these orthophotos for each of our farmers that we are working in the 6 provinces. When these orthophotos and when decide how to work or how will be our intervention in the areas, our second component, that is the sustainable agricultural development. And this component, we have a very important tool that is the Integral Farm Management Plan. For this is called PMI. Yeah, we started with this tool before to start to working with the farmers. We implemented this tool to visit the farmers in the farm, going with them around the farm, and develop a series of documents that we will see after this. According to this Integral Farm Management Plan, the technicians started the reconversion of degraded land. For example, you can see monoculture. In this case, I am doing an interview to a farmer, or we have pastures that we try to convert to silvopastures. In this case, my responsibilities in the project, I have a team of 12 forestry technicians. Sorry, my Spanish is coming. We develop nurseries with some native species from the Amazon, especially we want to focus on the native fruits because we saw that these fruits have potential to the markets. We work with these fruits, wood, medicine. We select plus trees that we collect the seeds in the forest and develop the seeds in the nurseries until the plants are ready to go to the field. And when we have the plants ready for the field, we implemented these sustainable agroforestry systems. The systems are different in the different provinces, but we try, as I mentioned, to focus and to work with the native plants in the Amazon. Yeah, this is the tools, the important tool that we work with, Integral Farm Management Plans. There is different phases for the implementation of this tool. For example, we have initial meetings with the farmers, with some municipalities and the government that develop that working in the province. And with these meetings, we have a preliminary list of the farmers that are interested in working with us in the project. Yeah, it's voluntary. We don't force it to the farmers to work with us. Yeah, we only socialize our project, and then they decide if they want to work or not with us. Yeah, the second part is the phase of the diagnostic. We have a table that is the socio-economical diagnostic sheet. We have a map with the orthophoto that is a land current use map. I will explain later about this. And we have a matrix for the current financial analysis. It means how the farmer started to work with us. If they are selling some products, if this is profitable or not, how we work with this, and how to improve this work with the farmers. No? Okay, I will focus, I say, in this tab. This is the socioeconomic diagnosis for the farm. The technician visits the farmers and fill this sheet. Yeah, but this sheet, we consider that is our base to have all the data related with the farm, with the farmer, and how we will work in the future with them. This sheet has 6 different sections. One is the general information, is the name of the farmers, where is located, if this is married, how many people in the family. The second part of the data is the physical characteristics of the property or the farm. How is the soil? Is this flat or not, etc. And the third part is the production system that the farmers are currently having in the farm. For example, if they have annual crops, permanent or semi-permanent crops, there is pastures. In some cases, some of the farmers are working with another project that is commercial forestry plantations. If in the farm exists another forestry systems, we ask them if they are based for the crops and to grow the crops with the agricultural lunar calendar, because in many of the cases, this calendar is very important when the farmers used to grow the crops. We ask about livestock, about our aquaculture, because we are trying to work with native species of fish too in this project. And another special part is how they are doing the commercialization. For example, if they sell banana or cacao or coffee in the local markets. As I mentioned, we make a financial preliminary analysis of the farm. If they are selling the products, if the farmers are having money for them, saving money or losing money. The most of the cases when we make this analysis, we realize that the farmers are losing money with this, but they don't have in mind this part of they are invest in many crops, but they don't have a register to say, okay, I am selling this, I am taking money, saving money or not. Yeah, and the technician makes some technical observations for the work, to continue the work. As I mentioned, one part of these documents of the plant is the financial analysis we make with some data that come from the social sheet that I showed you. Yeah, I want to focus in this current land use map. When the technician visits the farm, they go to around the farm, and with over the orthophoto, they make this map. Yeah, this shows the different areas that for agriculture. For example, one of these, the A area is with corn. They grow corn. The other area B, for example, is forest, and then etc. They going around the farm and making a draw of all the systems that currently the farmer have in the farm, in all the farm. With this, the technicians go to the office and gave this data to the geographer, and the geographer digitalized all the areas of the farm. We have now 5,000 orthophotos belongs to the 5,000 farmers that we are working now. Yeah, with this, we have the idea how to work for the future, how to implement. For example, G is native forest, and we don't touch this. We ask to the farmers to protect this forest. And the other areas, for example, you can see A is yucca or cassava, but it's like a monoculture. And the second is banana, and etc. But most of these, when we visit the farms, are monocrops. Yeah, and the idea of our project is to change or implement agroforestry systems. Okay, you can see, as I mentioned, yucca, plátano, cacao, but in monoculture in the map. The second part, with this information in the current land use map, the technician and the farmer develop a future land use map. Yeah, how to improve these monocultures, changing, for example, in this part that they have only yucca or plátano, we can improve cafe and some trees that gave forage trees, for example, and we change this. You can see all the map now is how the farmers want to improve their farm. But they receive some technician assistant to work in this because, for example, the farmers want to change all, but we can't because the idea is to base on the characteristics of the farm, the physical characteristic too, and how if we want to know if the farmer have the income to invest of this, for example, for labor. Yeah, and with all of this data, they make this future land use map. Yeah, and the technician with these both maps develop a technical proposal of reconversion. It means how we can change this, but this is not a process from the day to night. Take long time, but we started. For example, we started to implement the B zone, plátano, achotillo, guarango, to change to monoculture to this, to implement it with these crops. And the proposal mentioned, for example, how many plants you need, the cost, and the activities that you will use to improve or to implement these systems. And all is for all the areas that we are working in the farm. When this proposal is accepted by the farmer and the technicians, we make an agreement to work with them, and we have a schedule to start our work too. And another thing is that we have recognition of our traditional agricultural knowledge. In this example, in this picture, you can see a Shuar woman working in Aja. It's a traditional agroforestry system that in the Amazon. And the idea is to maintain these systems, but help to the groups to go to the market. But don't forget about the knowledge and try to recover this, because now with this changing the knowledge are losing now, and the young generations don't want to work in the field. Yeah, we work in some areas, like I mentioned, with coffee, cacao in the forest, with medicinal herbs, in our aquaculture, At the same time, when we implemented this system, we are not working only in the agricultural part. We are working in the agricultural biodiversity too. We are helping the animals come back to the systems. Sometimes the systems work as a corridors between the forest and the farmers, etc. This is an example that how we are working in the field. You can see monoculture of pitahaya or dragon fruit and sachainchi, that is a crop of the native crop in the Amazon. And we change from monoculture. You can see pitahaya in the agroforestry systems. For example, we implement a crop that is called maní caramelo or peanuts. And it's in the base. First, they protect and give nitrogen to the soil. And when the maní is ready to harvest, the farmer have a new income to sell in the market, especially in the local market. And at the same time, we implemented natural fences with some forage trees like botón de oro or quiebra barriga, that are the names in local names. Yeah, and for example, the fences gave some fertility to the soil, help to the soil, but at the same time, the farmers cut some of the branches to feed the animals, especially cows. As these forest trees are very good font of nutrition for the animals. That is why we are working. It's only an example how we work in the field. The third component is the commercialization supply chain, because we want to feel all the change, because many of the projects, especially we have in the Amazon, only go until the production. And when the production is ready, what the farmer do with this? Where they sell, or sometimes the production is losing. And the idea to our project is develop new products, but in the near future, we want to have a brand from crops that come from the agroforestry systems, and at the same time, deforestation free. We links to bio-trade development. We go with the farmers to markets and national and international level. Especially now, the technicians are working in the international market with dragon fruit. I say the idea is to have this new brand in Ecuador with these products. Some important results of our project. The integrated management plans are prepared. Until now, we have 700 and in this the last year. Some hectares in the process of establishing sustainable agroforestry systems, like 100,000. Some commercial agreements, 54. The technicians, I forget to mention that when the farmers decide to work with us, the technicians have a monthly visit to the farmers to see how the work is going on, and to work or training to the farmers about the different crops. Yeah, that is related with this. We have the training to the farmers. Sometimes we visit the farmers, the technician visit the farm and do the training in the farm, invited the neighborhood to come to see, for example, working to develop compost, or how to pruning the cacao, etc. Yeah. And how we think our project, the sustainability of our project. We think there is sustainability, institutional sustainability, and farm or sustainable agricultural. In the case of the institutional, Semplades is an organization that is working in the planification of all Amazon, and the Semplades have the integral Amazonic plant, and now is working to update this plant with the Ministry of Agriculture and our project, the ADPA project. Some decentralized autonomous government that work in each of the province will be based on our management plan, in the plan that in all the activities that I show you from the ADPA project. And we believe that this is a very good step for us, that the government decide to take this tool to work in the different regions. And the PDOT is the development plan that each year each province and each government have to implement, and our plan will be implemented in this PDOT. And the provincial parties and the provincial and parish councillor should include this management plan, these tools, as a management tool. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, as I mentioned at first, they have offices in the different provinces, and instead our project ends, the technician will continue visiting and working and training to the farmers. And yeah, and that is the idea, that our project will be sustainable until we left this. And in the area with the farmers, all these tools, the plant management of integrated farm, we gave a folder for each of the farmers, and the farmers have the maps, have the proposal, and they decide how to continue working to improve their farm. They decide, maybe I will work in this zone the next year, but they have all the tools. They decide, and we think the farmers who are passionate about this will continue. The farmers' organizations will be able to, or in the capacity to continue the work without our project. We are training now the organizations to work, to do analysis, to find market together. And we think that creating local capacity building is the best way that the people continue working. Instead, we end our project, the people will continue working in this. The training that the farmer receives in these techniques, we believe that they will continue improving their farms. They will working by themselves. Instead, we are not. We hope this. We're training each month to the farmers with our technician groups. And we think that with the implementations or the change to monoculture to agroforestry systems, the farmers will have more income. For example, in the example, selling the peanuts, they have one income, or something with another crop, and during the year they have more income than only wait for when the pitahaya be ready to harvest. And we think that with this, our project will be, the sustainability of our project will be sure. There is many challenges and opportunities in this project. The challenge, as I mentioned, there is sub or overuse soil and inefficient use of this. There is a big problem in the legalization of the land tenure, and reduced produced capacities, deficient training and technical assistance to improve the productive systems, or many of these you can see. And what are the opportunities? We saw the opportunities in some aspect, economic, environmental, and sociocultural. For example, in the economic area, there will be profitable. They have higher income with the implementation of the system and more crop in these systems. They have market access. We are working on that, and access to credit. We are not giving credits for the farmers, but our project help the farmers to access to a credit. And the farm management tool will be one of the documents to help to the farmers to access to the bank. We are working now with Ban Ecuador to have an agreement to work with the farmer on our farm management plan. And the farm management plan and the credit will be based on the needs of the farmers. Yeah, and okay, as I mentioned, we will have a brand with products come from the forestation free. In the environmental aspect, we have more diversification. It means that we are helping to the biodiversity. We have soil, water management, and we are working with the Ministry of Environment to save the forest, to cut the deforestation, to protect the agrobiodiversity throughout corridors. And yeah, we are planning to work what are the environmental systems or services that agroforestry systems provide to the forest. And the socio-cultural aspect, we have different strategies to work with the different actors like indigenous people. We have recognition of the cultural diversity and assessment of ancestral knowledge. At